Okay, Mardi Gras parades have been canceled, but we never canceled the spirit of Mardi Gras. And the spirit of Mardi Gras is living on through shared memories of Mardi Gras past. Hi, I'm Scoot. The band Better Than Ezra is just part of Mardi Gras. I can't tell you a Mardi Gras that I have gone to without seeing Better Than Ezra. Their concerts are sold out, and they're a really big part of it. Kevin Griffin from Better Than Ezra joins us. Hey, Kevin, it's great to see you.
So good to be here. So good to see you, Scoot. You look great, and it's great to be at this different venue, this Zoom virtual venue. We're usually in like a tight, cramped radio studio with SM7s in our face.
All right, well, that's going to bring me back to just one really strange memory. I remember I was on the air in Portland, and I'm going to the men's room during a break, and you're in the men's room, and I don't like look for anything to have in common with anybody in the men's room, and I'm basically thinking, okay, well, that's Kevin Griffin, and I don't say anything, and so a couple of minutes later, I find you in the hall, and you were like on another radio station, and then I had you come over on,
Right.
on my show, so it was just so strange to just in that place in Portland, Oregon, for us to both be in the men's room at the same time. It was strange.
I know, and we didn't ruin our relationship. Nothing.
No,
It was
no.
just good, clean fun. We were taking care of business, and then we just did the radio interview. But yeah, it's funny to be New Orleans guys and consider that far away. Always
Look, I know you guys have some epic memories about Mardi Gras, but before we get to that, Kevin, let's go back to the mid '90s, and the grunge movement had reached mass appeal. You guys were riding the crest into mainstream America. Um, what did that feel like when Deluxe hit and you've got Good, In the Blood, Rosalia? These songs are taking off, and you're a national hit.
it was it was gratifying, because we'd been doing it. Our first rehearsal was in Baton Rouge in 1988. I wrote Good in 1990. So it was 7 years, 5 years since writing the song that would launch the band in 1995. It was 5 years of a lot of toil and work. But at the, but during that time, like you mentioned, we saw the grunge movement come up, and suddenly bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and the Pixies, were having big success. And we had been kind of ignored, just another band. We'd done plenty of showcases for labels and stuff, but suddenly in 1995, we were the hot band, and labels did a bidding war, and we signed with Elektra Records, and Good, our independently released, came out as we made it. Everybody wanted to change it, and it came out, and it just exploded. And it was a magical time. But I think that we'd worked hard enough to enjoy it and know that it was the convergence of a lot of different things, not just a fluke. So it was a magical, and I have such great memories, and I kept journals from that year as well.
Oh, wow. Let's go back to that for just a minute, though.
Sure.
At what point do you keep going? I mean, you write the song, nothing happens. I think Tom once said, Tom Drummond, your bass player,
Yeah.
once said, we worked for 7 years to get signed, and we made it to number one in 7 weeks, or 7 months, or something crazy like that. So it's like, at what point do you tell yourself, I'm going to stick with this, and I'm not going to be discouraged?
You know, uh, for me, after I graduated LSU. I was like, I knew I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I loved music. I was in band since I was junior high. Um, for me, honestly, it was when I decided I'm not going to go to law school. I let my LSAT run out, and I was like, I'm going to go for this, and I'm going to pursue this dream until it gets really ugly. So there was no, the music business and the entertainment business in general is a business of no's. It just takes one yes. And if the given is that you're talented, perseverance wins the race. It's a cliche, but it's so true. And you know this in the business, man. It's just about sticking around. If you know you're talented, you're good enough, and you can get that feedback from fans and stuff. We knew we had enough fans in the South that we just weren't going to quit. And so um, it- we just kept playing, got turned down, and other bands that opened for us would get signed and have their moment. And we were like, we know we're good. We know our fans are right. We know these songs are compelling. So we're not going to stop. And our perseverance won out. And honestly, and here we are talking over 25 years later, and Better Than Ezra had their moment of being the hot thing. And now we're just a band playing. We release music, and we get to tour all over the world, and I say all over the world, Europe and Canada and the United States, which is big enough for me. But we still do amphitheater tours, and and around the country in the summer. And it's all about perseverance, because there were, honestly, there were better bands. There were bands that had more success, but it's about the bands that work hard, put on a great show, and stick around and just keep doing it. And you get to have these moments like we're doing,
Well,
reminiscing.
when you do Jazz Fest, your crowd is as big as anybody's crowd, but you also have seen that crowd over the years grow, and you've got younger demographics that may not have been introduced when Good and In the Blood and these songs were first released.
It's really fun to see the evolution of our fans. And I look out into the audience. I'm 52 now, and so I'll look out to the audience and I'll see, I'll see people. I'm like, wow, they look kind of old. But then I'm like, wait a second, they were 35 when we were having, having our success. And then I see them with their kids or their grandkids, and they're all dancing around singing, and they come up to me after the show and like, all our kids have grown up on your music, and so it's just really gratifying to see that the music has legs and sustains, and people still find it fun and enjoyable. And man, uh, it's such a small percentage. There's so many staggering statistics about how many bands don't make it, but to be able to still be doing it 30 years on and having it, get to see families enjoy our music is just a real blessing. And you get to, like you mentioned, Jazz Fest. That's what you get to see at Jazz Fest. It's really cool, and it's a celebration.
And then, so many other hits, Desperately Wanting, King of New Orleans, Extraordinary. I mean, the list goes on. Very, very quickly, you'll do many of these same songs over and over again. But is there a time when there's something going on in your life personally that changes the way you feel about a song the moment you're doing it?
Well, when I'm writing songs, I often think that they're works of fiction, because at some point you're like, I can't write about myself anymore. I've got to start, taking dramatic license. And so I often think that the songs don't have anything to do with me in it, but it's later when I'm singing a song like Beautiful Mistake or Gonna Get Better, which is on a later album, that I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly about me and what I was going through at the time. So songs reveal themselves to me, or fans say, was this about this? Or someone who's close to me in my life says, is this song about this moment you were going through? And I'm like, oh my God. So, it's the older you get, the more you understand that your subconscious is the showrunner and behind the scenes doing all sorts of things that your conscious mind isn't really aware of. And songwriting is that way. And so songs continue to evolve and mean different things for me. And I come around to songs. Some songs I get tired of playing, like Rosalia. For the longest time, I was like, oh, I played it so much. But then now it's just a great memory of a time when I was living in Santa Fe, and the burning of Zozobra, which is this crazy Day of the Dead celebration. So it's always moving.
Yeah. You are a songwriter. You've written some big hits like Howie Days, Collide, which was a big hit a few years ago. And so you've really gotten into writing songs.
That's what sustains me. And the great thing about writing with other people is I become a better songwriter because they bring something to the table that I don't do. And so I glean, it's like the process of osmosis. I glean inspiration from them, new chord progressions and lyric ideas. So it helps with songwriting for Better Than Ezra. But then also, I'm as an artist, my voice is gonna sound like my voice. And as much as I think I'm doing something different, you can listen to a songwriter, you can hear a Paul McCartney song, and you're like, that sounds like a Paul McCartney song.
Yeah.
People tell me, even when I write for other people, they're like, did you write that song for the record company? I'm like, yeah. They go, I knew it. So I do a certain thing, but when I write with other artists, I get to put on a different hat and have a voice through them. And that's just so gratifying, because like I can write a country song or a R&B song or a synth pop song. And so it keeps me connected, because I'm always listening to new music to stay inspired, and so I don't sound stale, and because that's always the thing, you tend to want to do the path of least resistance as a songwriter. but I'm always challenging myself to kind of grow
Well,
and
let me share
evolve.
this with you really quickly. When I was on the air in Denver, I had an after party at my apartment in downtown Denver, and some younger guy was there, and he's walking around. He sees a picture of you and me together. I've got some pictures of me and Cyndi
Right?
Lauper, and me and you, and he goes, "Wait a minute, do you know Kevin Griffin? Do you know better than Ezra?" And he says, "Man, they helped me through some of the toughest times in my life."
Oh,
And there's your writing.
well, that's amazing. That man was that man was Kurt Cobain. No, um, Edward Vedder was his name, Kim. Um, I am always grateful and blown away by when people come up to me and say that, hey, there was a dark time in my life, and your songs or a particular song really spoke to me and gave me some hope and some understanding and a different perspective. And that's the biggest compliment that you can be given as a songwriter. Just that you play a small role in someone's life. You're a memory. They hear a song that takes them back to college, or we are getting married, or getting laid for the first time. This is the internet. We can say that, right? You
Right?
can you
Yes.
can bleep that out. But I actually, you do, as a songwriter, like, a lot of people come up and say, "Man, the first time we were together, this song was playing." I'm like, yeah. But it's just, because as a fan of music, I'm the same way. I've got my songs that take me to a certain place, remind me of a certain person. So to be that for somebody is just, I'm like, okay, that inspiration I got when I first heard "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" by Elton John, or the
Yeah.
Beatles, or saw Kiss and said, that's what I want to do. I get to be doing that is badass.
We haven't talked in so long, so it's great to catch up with you. And I know you've got a lot to say, and people love Better Than Ezra. But all right, let's get to Mardi Gras now.
Mardi
I
Gras.
understand House of Blues sold out Better Than Ezra. It's a Mardi Gras tradition. It's got to be tough for you because you've got to have that instinct of it's the calendar. The calendar says it's Mardi Gras. We need to be performing, but you're not.
It's well, this has been such a crazy year for all of us. In the milestones keep happening of things that we don't get to enjoy regularly. Now it's Mardi Gras, and you're right. Our House of Blues shows, for so many years, have been a Mardi Gras tradition. We hold the most sellouts at House of Blues, and that distinction was bestowed upon us by Dan Aykroyd a few years ago. I think 5 years ago now. So it's weird to be in Charleston. At the beginning, Muses should have been last night.
Yeah.
Hermes happening today, but it's not. So it's weird. But my hope is, I'm an eternal optimist. Look, we'll get this vaccination going. Enough people be inoculated to where things could get back to normal. And look, we're seeing it in the you can't defeat or tamp down the enthusiasm of New Orleans people. They're unlike anybody in the country, and they're having all the home floats and stuff. So this is, I tell you what, just like the live streams, musician live streams and stuff, those aren't going to go away because musicians have said, wow, I can connect with my fans in a personal way that I can't in a live show. And by the same token, I think that the inventiveness and the hilarity and the craziness of this year's Mardi Gras, which will be revealed, is going to stick around in some form, and it will only add to the rich tapestry of Mardi Gras.
I agree. The house floats and some of the stuff that's going on here, I think all that's going to continue. Okay, so I know there's some memories about Mardi Gras that you can't share with us,
Oh
but
no, the dirty, disgusting,
yeah,
sordid.
let's
Like,
share let's share a couple. When we talk about Mardi Gras memories, there's got to be something that just stands out in your mind, or maybe a couple of things.
I think that one that was just so magical as we're close with Harry Connick Jr.
Mhm.
and with the Orpheus parade. One that just sticks out is we had our own float, the Better Than Ezra float, and we had it rigged with this massive PA system. And we had and Travis McNabb, our drummer at the time, who we're very close with, had a big drum kit. It was like this. It had toms and snares, so he could just play along with the music. And that was just the thing I try to tell people is that when you've ridden on a Mardi Gras float, I'm like, yeah, I've played on stages to, to clubs, but to audiences of 80 to 100,000. But Mardi Gras is like that for 5 hours. So it's 5 hours of just this blur of energy, this rush. And we were on that float, and this is 96 maybe. So we were just riding high. We had plenty of great libations on the float, and we were getting our drink on. And I remember playing Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. And we were just tackling each other and rolling in beads, and we had so much fun. And then at some point, the Hawaiian Tropic float that was behind us, the Hawaiian Tropic girls were on our float, all dancing with us, and that was silly, stupid fun. And that was quickly dispersed, but that was a magical time, and so many, so that was a great moment, being on our own float, and we did that for several years. But I think what was always fun about Mardi Gras, as the band is concerned, is we would do 3 or 4 shows that from that Thursday night to Lundi Gras. And by Lundi Gras, we were so crispy and burnt out. And I remember just drinking just shaking and drinking throat coat. Like, I can't sing. I can't sing. But without fail, that last show, our crew would always say was our best show ever, when we're just hungover and tired. But just, the fun, speaking of magical moments, is I try to explain it to people, that the balls during Mardi Gras, with Orpheus and Endymion, Bacchus, that this massive, 30 float parade comes into a convention center and winds its way through these raised tables, and everyone's in formal gowns and tuxedos. And then at 2-3 a.m., the party starts. So, when you've got Casey and the Sunshine Band, Nelly or Pitbull, and Better Than Ezra and REO Speedwagon, this crazy mishmash to appeal to all these different generations. And, you are not sober, and it's 2:30 a.m. and you get up and play a set, to all these people dancing, and beads are flying and stuff. And it's just such a magical thing that I treasure it so much. I can go on and on about different memories of Mardi Gras.
Well, Kevin, thank you for spending time with us. I mean, you guys bring such great energy to the stage that I can't wait to see you back. I've seen you in a couple of other cities when I've lived in other cities, and you've come to town. It's just been great seeing you. And you look great. I want to mention also the Better Than Ezra Foundation.
Yes.
You guys do a lot. A lot of people don't know this, but the band Better Than Ezra does a lot for the community.
The BTE Foundation has been around for 19 years. We started it 19 years ago, and it was initially benefiting Multiple Sclerosis Association, and it still does. But in the wake of Katrina, we really did it to focus on rebuilding New Orleans and strengthening New Orleans institutions. And Bethune Elementary School has been a school we've adopted, and do after school programs for them, music programs, buying them supplies. And we've done a splash park at City Park, a splash park at Audubon Zoo. In the past year, through the BTE Foundation, I was able to raise over $200,000 to various charities, from Music Cares to Second Harvest Food Bank to frontline workers in New Orleans battling COVID and stuff. So we continue to do great work. Go to btefoundation.org and check it out. I'm actually doing a live stream this Sunday night. It's for lovers only. It's a Valentine's Day show, 8:30 p.m. Central Time on the Better Than Ezra Facebook. I will be there with a bottle of Chianti and my guitar, playing all your soft rock hits. And we'll be raising money for, you guessed it, the American Heart Association.
That's cool. All right, before I let you go, everybody's got one. Give me a funny bathroom story, Mardi Gras bathroom story.
A funny Mardi Gras bathroom story. There's an old joke. It's a dirty joke. Well, it's not a dirty joke. There's 2 old men, and they're using the bathroom off the side of a bridge, and one guy goes, "Water's cold," and the other guy goes, "Deep too." So I was with my buddy Tom and Tom Drummond, and we would go up. It's Mardi Gras, and we go up to the bathroom to the urinals, and I go, "Ooh, water's cold." And before Tom could say deep two, to my right side, I hear this old man go, "Deep two."
That's great.
It's a classic old corny dad joke, but yeah.
Love it. Love it. Kevin, it's great to see you. You look great. Can't wait to see you again.
Brother, you look great. Love seeing you, man. And là-bas, brother. Let's bring Mardi Gras back. It's going to be a great time. You cannot hold down New Orleans, and we'll be rocking this time next year.
And the spirit of Mardi Gras lives on as Kevin Griffin of Better Than Ezra shares his Mardi Gras memories with us.
Hey, take care.